I'm visiting the baking capitals of the world.
Bellissimo.
In search of the people, the places, and the traditions that make the very best of baking.
Oh.
From the laid-back sunshine vibe of Miami to the European chic of Paris.
Oh, superb.
I've gone stateside to check out the city bakes in one of the world's most iconic places. One that never stands still.
I'm in New York, in case you haven't already guessed. I'm in the middle of Times Square. It's sunset. This place is buzzing 24 hours a day. But I'm here to check out the bakes. What's the next trend that's going to leave New York and come to Europe? I'm here to find out.
I'm going to dive into the latest flavors of the New York donut.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I visit a bakery that has turned the rustic bagel into a performance.
Hot bagels!
Hot bagels!
And after near death by cheesecake, I come up with my own bit of New York cheesecake magic.
I think we're on to something.
This is a city that instantly makes you feel you're in a movie. Everywhere you look screams New York.
One of the things about New York is its size. I mean, I know London's big and it's got the odd occasional skyscraper, but New York has got more than its fair share. Wherever you go, you feel dwarfed by these colossal buildings, not more so than the Empire State. It's a nice day, and I think I've got to head this way.
As you might expect, eating in New York is a pleasure. And in fact, it's an adventure. Even something simple like a bagel for breakfast is a hard decision.
Morning.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm good.
What can I help you with?
What are the options for the bagels then?
Well, we have a whole bunch of different bagel options. We have the everything bagel and, of course, the whole wheat everything bagel. We also have the multi-grain bagel, or if you'd like, we have the health grain bagel. And then we have...
This is what New York is famous for.
Thank you very much indeed.
Doing everything bigger and better. Even its bakes.
I like to think that I'm on the cutting edge of baking. I like to think that I invent different things. But to be honest, for me, New York is going to be fascinating. And I'm sure we're going to get a little bit of inspiration while I'm here. I'm going to finish my bagel. It's delish. The coffee is not bad either.
I'm starting my search for the best of New York with that American classic, the donut. The United States has long had a deep love affair with them, but I'm told that this shop, open for less than a year, is trying to do something new.
Donuts. These are great-looking donuts.
Thank you.
They're not fattening at all, are they?
No.
They're not fattening at all. I can eat
no.
loads of them. It's not going to put any weight on me.
No.
Now, I'm used to a little bit of sugar on mine, but the choice here is incredible. Lemon and poppy, chocolate, cafe au lait.
Right, I think I know what I want. The toffee,
Okay.
Dulce. I've got to try the basic one as well, so a plain one, please. And the passion fruit, please.
Okay, that's my favorite, actually.
Is that your favourite?
Yes.
Do you think that's enough to start with?
Well, just to start, but I think you have to try the hibiscus.
Yes, I've never had anything like that, I must admit.
And this is candied hibiscus flower on
Wow,
top.
that is an impressive array of donuts.
Fanny is the shop owner, and the bakery is right behind the counter. They make donuts all day long here, so they're fresh for the customer, which I'm happy to say is me today.
You've taken the humble donut and turned it into something very, very different. Now, this one is...
Dulce de leche with toasted almonds.
Oh,
Dulce de leche is a South American flavour. It's basically the toffee in banoffee pie.
it's very Moorish. That's delicious. Now, this one is passion fruit.
I'm from Mexico, so I didn't grow up with sweets that were extremely sweet, so I crave sour, tangy flavors.
Oh, yeah. Wow. It's a strong hit, the passion fruit. Oh, yeah, I love that. I'm surprised you haven't made a tequila one yet, then.
We do. We make,
You do, of course you do.
We make a margarita one.
Do you?
Yes, for,
Mojitos?
Cinco de Mayo, mojitos.
So what is this one?
This is the hibiscus.
Oh, yeah. That's delicious.
Thank you
I
very
love that. It's not a strong flavour. There's a hint at the back, but it looks so attractive. Although the flavours in the donuts are different, they're out there, they don't taste artificial. They taste full of flavour. I mean, I didn't realise that the donuts could be taken to such a level, because a lot of the flavours you have here I've never heard of.
I'm fascinated to see how Fanny's Donut Bakery churns out so many flavours all day long.
The heart of the operation, then?
Yes, yes, it is.
Fanny's baking team stamp the dough out by hand.
You know, it's a brioche-type dough.
Yeah.
With a little less butter, it's not as rich.
Yeah.
But we use fresh nutmeg.
And after proving, it's deep fried before getting its flavoured glaze and toppings.
What is it about New Yorkers that allows you, in particular, to be able to open a shop like this?
New Yorkers are foodies, and you have such a melting pot of cultures, you know, and I am one of those, and so is everybody else. So you're always surrounded by inspiration. You go see things, you go try things.
So what you're actually doing is your culture, your heritage, your flavours that you have in your mind, what you grew up with, you're bringing to the people of New York.
Yes.
In the form of a donut.
Exactly.
That's what makes a difference.
Exactly.
I love it. I really do.
If this is what New York can do to a donut, I can't wait to see what else awaits me. Much of the baking in New York originated in Europe. Family recipes brought over through the 18th and 19th century by waves of immigrants.
I've never actually seen the Statue of Liberty before. I mean, it looks small in the distance, but she's a whopper. But this was actually the route in that most of the immigrants took coming into America. It's incredible. Beautiful morning to come and see it.
One of the bakes that came in with the Jewish immigrants were the famous bagels.
I want to take you to a place called Saddles. Now, it's run by a girl called Melissa, and it's only been open nearly a year. Now, she's turned bagels into an entertainment form. Really? I'm the only one that can do that. Hello.
How are you?
Do you mind if I take these guys in to have a look around?
No, please, come right in.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, this place is very special.
This is a very different bakery to the street bakery where I bought my breakfast this morning.
It's a bit posh. The waiters are all dressed up with dicky bows. The centre is where Melissa makes all the bagels. And all around is the entertainment seats. This is the theatre seats, if you like.
And when fresh bagels are baked, they're announced.
Hot bagels!
Hot bagels!
And all the staff join in, just like a chorus line.
I want to introduce you to Melissa, who started all this. And she's over there making bagels. Come with me. Hello, Melissa.
Hi, Paul.
Nice to see you. Hello. how
Nice to see
doing?
you too.
So this is your home.
This is my home. My son jokes that it's the bagel jail.
I like that.
Melissa's sourdough bagels are prepared in a nearby kitchen.
Thanks, Alex.
Like all bagels, they are boiled for a few minutes, then some are tossed in seeds.
And then we put them on these boards, and these boards then go into the oven. So we put them in the oven upside down.
After a few minutes in the rotating oven, the bagels are flipped over.
So you bake them on one side, flip them over onto the
And then they finish baking.
slate. Yeah. It's fantastic. I love it. The British afternoon tea is served on a cake stand. You've taken the scone, or the biscuit they call over
Yes.
here, out and put the bagel in.
We have. We love the elegant presentation, and we wanted to elevate it so that it wasn't considered your local deli bagel that you can get on any street corner.
I think it's a great idea.
It's fun.
The whole point of this is a celebration of the bagel, celebrating that yeasted little bun that came over to New York and has just gone boom, and this has taken it to a whole new level. So when are the next lot due to come out?
Momentarily.
Are they?
I know you all know me as a shy, retiring baker, but when in New York, be loud.
Hot bagels!
Hot bagel!
Thank you.
You could have shouted with a little bit more gusto the next time.
That was quite rowdy. I think that worked.
He made the grade.
One of the great things about New York is obviously you've got these huge buildings everywhere, just go vertical. And then right in the heart of New York, you have this, Central Park.
Central Park is vast. It runs from Midtown right up to Harlem, and any time of year, it's beautiful.
Most people that live in New York come to this place as It's a little bit of a respite. I suppose the equivalent would be Hyde Park in the UK and London.
Whether you fancy a horse and carriage ride, rollerblade, jog, or a spot of rowing, it's all here.
And one thing which is pretty poignant to me, coming from the northwest of England, there's a memorial over there to a guy I'm a big fan of, John Lennon. I was born and raised on the Beatles. My mum and dad were both big fans. My mum saw him in the cavern many, many, many times. And she actually didn't think they were much cop, which is strange. And I made up to call this place Strawberry Fields after him. It's a nice memorial, you know.
Still to come, I discover a new way of baking bread that is so easy, I can hardly believe it works.
That looks like a true artisan bread.
And I bake my own tribute to the inventiveness of New York by putting its cheesecake inside my chocolate brownie. Get in. I'm in New York, exploring the inventiveness of this incredible city. My next bakery is in Hell's Kitchen on the east of Manhattan. Sullivan Street Bakery is so renowned that even the New York Fire Department stop by for their lunch. This is a bit of a personal fact-finding mission for me, because Jim Lahey is famous in the bread world for coming up with a brand new, super simple way of making bread at home.
Hello.
So nice to see you, man. Welcome to the shop.
Great looking things. You're known because you changed the way that we mix bread.
You mean you're talking about the no-knead
That's the one.
method?
Can you show me and explain what this whole thing's all about?
Yeah, I'll gladly show you. You want to come back into the bakery
absolutely.
and we'll give you a quick tour?
I've always made bread at home by giving the dough a good long knead.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But Jim has apparently come up with a method that does away with all that elbow grease, and I want to know how it works.
This is the technique now that you came up with.
So the no-knead process is a really, really simple principle. 400 grams of flour, you add yeast, and that's about a half a gram, and this is 8 grams of salt.
Okay.
Fine table salt, sea salt, and then I'm just gonna mix it together. This method, hands down, produces better bread than even the best artisan baker's attempts. And what's really beautiful about it, Paul, is that it requires no effort on your part, my part, or your viewers' parts.
This sounds too good to be true.
I've weighed out for you 300 grams of water.
Let's get really detailed then. Hard water or soft water?
Tap water.
Okay.
Just regular tap water. Pour it in, and then I'm just gonna pull it together like this, and it is done. And that is shaggy. And that was about like 6 seconds or so?
Yeah, about 6 seconds.
Normally, I'd be working this dough for maybe 10 minutes until it's smooth and elastic.
It's a very different method, because obviously you're not working there, you're just leaving it alone.
But this is all Jim does.
Perfect.
It gets covered and left alone.
After 24 hours, this is what it would look like. So it goes from that to this.
The dough has risen ever so slowly, and despite not being kneaded, it's now smooth.
What is really weird is, during my baking life, I've done doughs like that before. Inadvertently, just mixed something together and forgot about it, come back and it's blown up. What I haven't done, though, was go to the point of baking it.
I respect the integrity of the blob. You don't want to cut it into a bunch of little pieces. You want one whole piece, okay?
Jim is what I would call a breadhead. I love his energy.
Anyone can do this, and that's it. Done.
That really does take just seconds. To bake it, Jim has a whole new technique using preheated casserole pots, or Dutch ovens as they're known in America.
Then we have our doughs that have been sitting here for a little over 2 hours. A little bit too big for the pot, but we're gonna make it work anyway. A little lopsided, not ideal. It's the principle, kiddo. And we're gonna put this in the oven now for about 20 minutes.
Personally, I've never baked in a Dutch oven before, so this is going to be fascinating to see what they come out like.
So they baked for 20 minutes with the lid closed, about 15 minutes with the lid open. You can pick one up now. They're still hot, but you can probably handle them quickly.
And light.
Yes. So I'm going to try to cut this in a way.
It smells fantastic,
That has a
yeah.
very-
But look at that structure. That looks like, you're right, a true artisan bread from the middle of France or the middle of Italy.
I love the way you guys structure.
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 However I say it, this is a really impressive loaf.
Tastes like, think of the best homemade loaf you've ever made that your grandma used to make.
Now
that's where it is.
That's a huge compliment. The grandmother thing. I mean, I like it makes me kind of get like all teary-eyed.
Do you want a tissue?
I do.
I think in Europe, as bakers, we're restrained by tradition, by rules. And I think in New York, that doesn't exist. I think they've mastered the recipes that have come over from Europe. I think he's changed it, made something completely different. That's why it had to come from New York. Thanks, Jim.
Oh, Paul, it's a pleasure, man.
Mate. Look after yourself, all right?
Yes.
What I'm slowly discovering about New York is the quality of bacon is here. They've got some fantastic recipes, and what they've done with those recipes is step them up a notch. I think it's revolutionary, and that's the key thing. That is the New York way, bigger and better.
Before I leave this city, I'm on my way to visit a New York institution.
I want to welcome you to Brooklyn. I want to welcome you to Junior's.
I'm told you don't know cheesecake until you've been to Junior's. This New York family has been reinventing it for the last 65 years. Alan Rosen is the third generation to make this recipe.
For 65 years, we've been on this very street corner, making the recipe exactly the same way as when we started.
It is incredible, and even the signposts on the road here.
Yeah, well, we were fortunate enough, they renamed the street corner Harry Rosen Way Cheesecake Corner.
Harry Rosen was Alan's grandfather, who created this recipe in 1950.
Now, I've come all the way from the UK to look at your cheesecake.
Generations of Brooklynites have come to eat at Junior's Diner, and on the floor above in the original 1950s kitchens, thousands of cheesecakes are still being made by hand. And unusually, every Junior's cheesecake has a sponge base. I've got to try some.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
This is Paul. We're going to introduce him to a little New York-style cheesecake today.
Okay.
We're going to start with our classic, what started us off, the original, the New York-style plain.
I've got to try this.
That is the one that my grandfather started with 65 years ago.
I like.
Good.
I like it a lot. It's very, very creamy. You can taste the cheese in it. The sponge is beautiful and soft. That is gorgeous.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed.
I can't finish it all, though.
You might want to keep your fork.
All
We
right.
got some more coming.
Okay.
Can we have a slice of strawberry, please, Marcel?
Sure.
When Alan said he had some more coming up,
Strawberry cheese pie.
he wasn't joking.
Fresh strawberries.
That is delicious. That's a standard filling, yeah?
Same, exactly the same.
Okay, bring it on.
Whatever you have, Marcel.
Wow.
What's happened is, over the last 65 years, Juniors have elaborated on their original recipe, creating more and more incredible cheesecakes.
I like the pineapple. Cheers.
So I'm sitting with my dad over breakfast 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And my dad says, why don't you take a plain cheesecake and put it inside of a chocolate layer cake?
Do you know what? It shouldn't work, but it does.
It does.
It does in so many ways.
And then from that, we came up with red velvet cheesecake.
Okay. Dear me. That's quite light, actually.
Well, after you've had that one, this one's
It
light.
is. I love the colour on that as well.
How about we'll lighten you up with a little fruit now? How about an apple crumb?
It's difficult to explain, but the flavours are excellent. The strawberry one I particularly like. I'm going back to the plain one. Okay.
Apple crumb cheesecake.
So we took two of America's most beloved desserts, apple pie, basically, and cheesecake.
That's a great blend, that one. If I hadn't eaten any of those, I could probably clean off one of those.
Oh, I could too.
You haven't got any more, have you?
Yeah, we do. We got a few more.
Of course he does. Alan also has Black Forest cheesecake
Oh, wow.
and carrot cake cheesecake.
Does it get any bigger than that?
That's the biggest one we have. A lot of people.
Whoa, one's gone.
That's all right. We'll work on that one later. You're doing great, I gotta tell you.
Thanks very much.
Chocolate mousse and raspberry swirl at the same time.
Thank goodness these are the last two.
Is that seriously? Is that a portion?
Yes, regular size portion. We didn't do anything special for you here today. No offense.
No joking. All these cheesecakes taste amazing. I promise you they do. I'm pretty full after my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12th spoonful of cheesecake.
If the New Yorkers can innovate like this, so can I. Before I leave Juniors, I ask Alan if I can invent my own Hollywood cheesecake.
You'll be the only guy, except for our bakers who get to work upstairs in that bakery. So
That's going to be amazing.
I hear you're a big deal back in the UK, so we're going to let you up there.
Thanks, Alan. I just need to sit here a minute first.
Rest.
I've decided to take my own chocolate brownie recipe and somehow get Junior's cheesecake inside it.
So you're going to crack on with your cheesecake. I'll crack on with my chocolate brownie, and we'll try and have a bit of a mix.
My pleasure. A mashup, so to speak.
Have a mashup, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alan's recipe, unchanged for 65 years, is Philadelphia cream cheese, which he's going to slowly blend with sugar, 2 eggs, double cream and vanilla extract. My brownie starts with whisking together 6 eggs with sugar.
Well, I'm doing mine by hand, you see. You're cheating slightly because you're using the mixer.
Into the eggs, I pour a lukewarm mixture of dark chocolate and melted butter.
Straight in. You can see how slack that is, see? Perfect.
Next, self-raising flour.
The last thing I'm going to add, pieces of chocolate. Have you done anything like this before? Brownie with a cheesecake?
I mean, maybe next week.
Call the Hollywood cheesecake.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
He thinks that's funny, but I think it's gonna be a winner.
I think it's ready. All yours, my friend.
Oh, beautiful. This should be quite delicious, actually.
Looks pretty interesting.
I'll have one more there. I don't want it to change colour too much. I want it to be quite stark, so you see the cheesecake and the brownie together.
We bake at 170 degrees C in Junior's original ovens.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you very much. That's a great looking oven.
Yeah.
The cheesecake and the brownie both bake at the same rate and stay separated,
Wow.
giving the brownie an incredible looking cheesecake marbling running right through it.
I've never had anything like this before. I'm looking forward to it. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
It's delicious. Really wonderful.
It's a lovely blend. You've still got that brownie texture as well.
Yep.
You've got soft chocolate.
And the brownie's all across the bottom, and the cheesecake's on its own.
Oh,
This is good.
I think we're on to something.
This is my little innovative nod to New York and its history of incredible bakers.
I like New York. It's given me back something which I think I was beginning to lose. New York has given me the passion, basically, to go back home and try lots of different things and not be restricted by the tradition of a recipe. Change it. Why not? That's what New York does, and it works.